Hey guys, it's Steven. Went ahead and created this week's pivot chart. As you can see, just going back and looking at the previous week, last video, we left off on the 23rd at about $12.80 when I made that video. And as you can see, we're about in the same price vicinity, but between that time, about 5 days ago now, we had a nice run up in the price of bytes. And I think this was just basically all from within Neo Tokyo. If you look at the amount of holders, they're about the same. So it's really just people within Neo Tokyo getting hyped. Maybe they sold, maybe they wanted to put some more money back in. And I think that's what we saw here. So if you look at the price here in US dollars, we started off right at the central pivot, like I noted last video, and that was our support for the week. And then we actually went up and tested the exponential resistance here, which is the R3, and actually reached above that. But as you can see, that did act as total resistance for the next couple days. So personally, I did sell about 200 bytes here. I felt like since we tested it here, tested it a few times, I felt like it was a pretty decent buy. So I only sold 200, so not even half of my stack, but I did want to take some profits and then possibly put those back to work. So right now I am still waiting. So if we went ahead and just look at the this week's central pivot, we got this um, central pivot at $13.80. So right now it looks like it just acted as resistance. So overall, I would say this is a pretty weak move. If we look at the Bytes chart price in Ethereum, it's much worse because the price of Ethereum has gone up substantially. So maybe just a little bit of fearful people here. There's just no reason to buy bytes right now. There's no actual utility. So I think that's the reason why you have a lot of people using bytes. Like I've said before, they're using bytes as an income stream, and they want to get paid dividends, and that's what they're doing. So they have no choice but to sell. But there is definitely a fight within the community because basically that's the only people investing. The people are selling their bytes to the long-term holders who believe in the actual utility. So there are still a lot of people stacking bytes. So we'll go ahead and just keep checking for how all that plays out. So on the USD chart, it could come all the way down to $9. So I wouldn't be surprised there. And if you look at that chart as well on the Ethereum, maybe it is the Ethereum, the bytes price. Maybe that's a probably similar price. Let me just pop it in real quick, actually. So we got 0.0028 and Ethereum's at 3850 or 33850. Yeah, so about 950 on the price of bytes right now. So yeah, so we could definitely see that come down here. So maybe I will put my Ethereum back to work if I start to see a lot more moves downward where we can get some more volatility. I might go ahead and just buy what I sold up here back down here. So just to go over last week, similar chart, where we had this resistance up here, and this was only the R2 because this is priced in Ethereum. So moving on to this week, central pivot is at this 0.0043 area. And as I said before, this was basically a little resistance. We saw it try to move up, but it got sold off. So we could see this act as a magnet if we get some more good news. If we upload the S2s this week, could easily have this kind of be like a cup and handle type of thing and break out. I wouldn't be surprised if we do have this act as a magnet, and what ends up happening is we can use this as a catapult to move higher, and that's what I am hoping we see. So yeah, as far as a position, I don't have any liquidity pool positions yet, but I'll let you know if I do update you on if I get one. So overall volume, still pretty low. If you see here, about 152,000 yesterday. So definitely want to see, we want to get to the millions here. That's where I think we rightfully should be, but we still just need some utility to come in here. So TVL is moving up due to the fact that the price of Ethereum is moving up. Let's see where the liquidity ranges are. So wow, yeah, so we really dropped off here, and this has definitely been moving around here. So we have a pretty large sell wall starting at the 0.0039 price. Let's put that on the chart. So almost to the central pivot on the Ethereum chart. So let's see what the top of this range is, 44. Yeah, so that kind of plays into what I was saying before, is if we can have this kind of huge momentum right up to this central pivot, once we get above there, there's much less resistance, right? So we could definitely get a much quicker move higher if we do break through there. So yeah, pretty good opportunity if you are looking to provide liquidity as support. This doesn't look like a bad spot to start. So let's just go ahead and move on to the Bytes holders. So I skipped a few days here, but on the 28th, we've got only 10 new holders over the last couple of days. So not too much going on there. We've got about 80,000 new tokens claimed. And as far as price, we're about the same. So just going to finish up on the macro view. So we got the interest rates starting to come back down again. So we're starting to have some money come back into the bonds market, which is needed. These rates went a little bit too fast. So I do expect us to come back down to at least this 220 area at a minimum, and about 2%. I think we're going to settle above 2% interest rates on the 10-year yield. So that does mean that on the overall stock market, we should have a nice pullback sometime soon. So obviously not holding my breath, but I'm just talking about as far as if you want to look to accumulate again, you want to accumulate the dips. So maybe look for some fear trades coming, and maybe we'll see something happen, and maybe it will affect the overall Bitcoin and Ethereum price. So let's just go ahead and check out what's going on here. Very nice breakout. So I mentioned that I'm still waiting to buy this dip, but I'm just going to hold my positions for now. My overall game plan is to accumulate, and don't necessarily want to sell. I just want to accumulate the dips. So overall, looking really good. We're breaking above this first resistance, and I don't know exactly where the R2 is, but I assume it's somewhere up by 50,000. So yeah, we'll see if we can keep this momentum going. I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this got sold off. It's been running pretty hot, but who knows? There's just not that much supply of Bitcoin on the market right now. So overall, just really great to see the entire market, pump our bags here. So for next month, we're getting there in a couple days. Maybe my next video, I'll go ahead and create next month's pivot chart. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe obviously the central pivot's going to be slightly higher here. So we might be coming into where the next month's resistance is, and we'll see how that plays out going forward. So yeah, that's basically it. We'll just finish off on the overall bond market. We're starting to see some money come back in here. So if this momentum, this is a bullish pattern here, as you can see. So you got they call this a bullish divergence. So when you have the momentum moving higher and you have the actual price moving lower, that's a bullish divergence pattern. And we've seen this in Bitcoin as well. When we had this over here, we had this sharp downturn and the momentum up, we had this nice bounce. So yeah, this is kind of leading to my my thinking that we're going to have a pullback here soon. And like I said, pullbacks are good things. It's opportunity. So yeah, I'm just going to end it here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you next time.